Hey, and welcome to VEDA Day 25. So today was the last day of the semester, which was extremely exciting, but super kind of stressful. So what I figured what I would do is I had the presentation yesterday, which was Wednesday, and it was recorded, so I would throw that up, and here it is. I love that product too!
You want me to be the best me I can be? How do I achieve that?
Oprah, relationships are about communication. Let's do this. Today we're going to learn how to love.
Today we're going to learn how to understand each other.
Thank you guys. Thank you seriously so much. I am extremely excited to be here today.
Why are you excited, Dr. Bill?
Well, because today's show is going to change every single one of you guys' lives.
All right. Well, today we're talking about something important and unavoidable. Something so unavoidable we can't even avoid it in our sleep. Today we're talking about communication.
That's right, Oprah. We're talking about not just communication, but effective communication. And after today's show, every single one of you will be able to leave this room saying you're an educated communicator. Oprah, I, and our guests today have taken the time to read Understanding Human Communication by Adler and Rodman. And why don't you tell us what we're going to teach, what we're going to learn today?
All right. Today we are introducing 3 new tools to become better communicators.
Absolutely, Oprah. And so let's start off by introducing our first guest. Now, our first guests are a pair of roommates and also band members who haven't quite been seeing eye to eye with either the lifestyle choices or the direction in which they want their music to go. So first, the one who contacted us was Wesley. So let's bring him out first and kind of hear his side of the story. Wesley, why don't you come on out? Great to see you. When you have a seat, we can start talking. It's nice that I finally meet you. So, Wesley, what brings you on the show today?
Well, basically, my roommate, Steven, for lack of a better term, he's kind of an asshole. He likes to party a lot. He likes to just hang out with girls, and I want to be a serious musician. I want to do something with my life. And Steven rather party.
Hold on a sec, man.
Do
You
drugs.
serious right now?
Okay.
Are you talking? Serious.
All right, so a little bit early, but this is the other roommate and band member. This is Steven. So, Steven, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah.
So, Wesley, I'm sorry, you were a little bit cut off. What you were saying?
Steven likes to party. I
Okay.
want to be a professional musician. I want to, pursue music as a career. And Steven, being the other half of this band, would rather, party and do drugs and basically just not be supportive. And I'm sick and tired of it.
Okay, and Steven, what for you brings you here today?
Yeah.
Why don't you two talk about? How about this? Why don't you two tell each other why there's aggression between the two of you?
Well, maybe you're an asshole too, I mean, you never let any of the band members work on the music,
Well, because you're too busy, just doing drugs and stuff.
Well,
And it's hard
sometimes
to
I
write
like to have
music when
fun, but,
you're
I mean,
partying all the time.
You don't have to
listen
work all the
anything.
time. I mean,
Okay. So I'm sorry. I'm just gonna stop you now because you guys did the reading, right?
yeah.
I did a little bit of it, yeah.
Okay. So what I heard was you. Just a whole bunch of yous. Okay? And when you use you, it's like you're taking the responsibility off of yourself, you're taking your reality and you're pushing it onto the other person. And they normally feel attacked. So,
Good.
well, that's not going to be a very effective way of communicating your issues. So, I think this is an appropriate time to learn a new communication tool. And that communication tool is known as I statements. Okay? And with I statements, what you're doing is you're eliminating the you. And when you do that, you take responsibility onto yourself and you identify it as your own reality.
So I should just say, I think you're an asshole? Would that
Well,
be more appropriate?
you're having you in there. You can't have you. So let's think about an I statement. How can we define your reality, take the responsibility for, the way you feel.
About how he's acting.
Right. So let's together try to think of one. So you were saying that you don't like it when he does drugs and parties, right? So would it be safe to say, I think that band members shouldn't party and, I don't know, sleep with women all the time?
Yeah, I think it would be better said, I feel the band would be more productive if the bandmates work together as a team, writing more music rather than partying all the time.
Okay. And Stephen, let's try to come up with an I statement for you to say to Wesley that identifies your reality, takes responsibility for your, how you're feeling and how you think, and effectively communicates that to Wesley.
Well, in my reality, I think that maybe band members shouldn't always work. It's not a crime to have fun once in a while. And also, I think that band members should work on music together, but maybe everyone in the band could have a say in it instead of just one person.
And now, did either of you two feel attacked?
Not really.
No.
No. So then, you
I
got
heard
the
him loud
book.
and clear.
You heard them loud and clear. And you got the book about 3 weeks ago. How come you didn't practice this before?
Well, in the heat of the battle, when you're arguing with somebody, it's just the last thing on your mind. You just want to call them out on everything and not really practice the tools that I know I read, but
So
it's hard to do.
It is. It can be hard to do. But let me just tell you from personal experience that the more you try to incorporate these tools into an argument, or the more you incorporate them in your everyday life, the more naturally they will come to you. And they'll just kind of flow. So do you two feel semi-comfortable that you'll be able to go home, kind of work this out, use a few I statements, and see where it goes?
I think so.
Yeah.
Good.
All right,
Good.
perfect time to take a commercial break.
That's right. So we'll be right back after this. So if you guys want to actually just move down, I'm gonna have our next guest come out.
Seriously, I didn't have any say in that whatsoever.
Well, Hopra, I tried to give you a little bit of time.
I spoke and you just.
You know what? Okay. All right. Fine. How about you just take the next guest?
Okay.
Take the next guest. And we're back.
And introducing our next guests are the mother and a son who are having a little bit of a dispute with each other and the son's life choices. So, Lori, why don't you come out? Thank you, Lori, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right. So tell us what's going on.
Well, my son wants to join the military, and I refuse to let him.
And
I
then-
just don't want him to be in such an organization.
Did you let him know how you feel
Yes,
about that?
I did. I sure did. And he left. He just walked out. I haven't talked to him in 3 months.
And
Do you
so we
believe
have-
that? Are there any moms out there? Are you with me? Do you believe he
I know
left?
how you feel too.
And so we understand that you haven't talked to each other in about 3 months.
Yes, he won't return any of my phone calls. I've been trying to talk to him. I send him text messages and I email him. He's not my friend on Facebook anymore either.
He defriended you.
I would have done the same.
Lori,
Neither
we
way.
What am I gonna
actually
do?
we actually brought him here and he's backstage. So
Where?
welcome, Brian. Come
Wow.
on.
Sit down, please. Sit down.
Woo. Brian, welcome to
That's
the show.
intense.
Thank you.
What'd you do to your hair? Your long hair.
It's the new do.
So, okay, so the initial fight happened because of you wanted to join the military, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, I hear that you actually have something to tell your mother about the military.
I do. So about 3 months ago, when we stopped talking, I thought it'd be best to cut you out of my life so I can make the decisions that I wanted and not that what you wanted me to do. So I joined the military.
What?
I did.
You joined the military? You can't do that. He can't do that. He can't just join
You
the
can't
military.
tell me what I can do.
What do you mean? You're my son. I can tell you what to do.
All right.
Yeah, I was okay.
Do you believe that? He joined the military.
Lori, okay. So obviously there's
All
some
my
tension.
fears are coming true.
Okay. So there's some tension.
And
Now,
some unspoken feelings. So let's talk about that. What
So-
are you feeling right now?
I'm mad. I'm angry. He went behind my back and joined the military. He knew I didn't want him to.
Okay.
and we assigned them some homework, didn't we? To write a little bit about on a 3x5 card, kind of what
I'm too
sparks
mad.
your
I
fear.
can't do that right now. I'm too mad.
Lori, that's why we had you do it ahead of time, because sometimes when you're in the heat of the moment, it's a little bit difficult to find the words you want to say. So, Lori, I think that when you contacted us, you said your fear was mainly around the idea of military and the war. And Brian, you were saying something about the issues you were having with your mother,
Yeah.
right? And so, Lori, why don't we start with you? What words do you have on your 3x5 card? What sparks the fear and the anger?
I'm afraid.
Mhm.
I'm sad. He's my only son.
Mhm.
If I lose him, I have nobody.
Mhm.
And I'm worried that he'll change. The military will change him. And I've heard that he could just go and join the army without, or whatever it is, whatever you joined.
What-
Marines? Is it the Marines or the Army? Or
It's
the
the National Guard, Mother.
So, Lori, what about him joining the military makes you afraid? Because this is really, so I feel that this is a good time to introduce a new communication tool. And that is actually, it's called feeling statements. And with a feeling statement, you say, I feel, and you list, the more emotions you can list, the better.
I feel afraid, sad, worried, and hurt.
And then you add a because.
Because I grew up during the Vietnam War, and a lot of my friends went off to war, and a lot of them didn't come back, and if they did, they came back in a box.
Okay.
And I don't want to lose him. I don't want that to happen to him.
Okay. And then, Brian, you did the same thing, right? You put some words down on a 3x5 card, 'cause it's actually a mental 3x5 card, but writing it out is kind of helpful too.
Mm-hmm.
So, what words did you come up with, and what's your idea that's kind of sparking?
I was unsure of how to feel, so I kind of, Googled some feelings.
Okay. And you know what? That's actually quite common. Stereotypically speaking, for heterosexual males, it is a lot harder for them to come up with the emotions that they're feeling. So it might take them a little bit of extra time.
I was infuriated.
Mhm.
I'm pained, and I'm unsure.
Okay. And why is that, Brian?
Well,
Well, what's on your mental 3x5 card for a mother?
a mother should definitely be supportive. She should be proud and understanding. Definitely, she should understand why I'm doing what
Proud
I'm
that
doing.
you're going to die.
Well, Lori.
He's looking more towards you're proud
Yeah,
of him for
cut that
joining the
umbilical cord,
military,
yeah.
serving their country.
Okay. All right.
He's a man.
And so Brian,
Thank you.
let's come up with a feeling statement so that your mother can kind of understand your reality and your perspective on what's going on. And again, avoid the you, avoid singling her out, because you're talking about your reality and your emotions. Okay. So let's start with I feel.
I feel pained, unsure, and infuriated because in my reality, a mother should be supportive, proud, and understanding of her son.
Okay. And Lori, when he says that, do you hear him? Do you feel attacked? Do you still feel angry when he says something like that?
I do, but
But
I
can you
don't know.
kind of see where he's coming from a bit more?
I guess.
I do.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here that would want the support of their family if they went and joined the military
Or a band.
or a band?
Moms out there? Moms?
So, I mean, and what we can do from this is that it's obvious that you both have legitimized emotions, okay? And the feeling statements allow you to just effectively express that. Okay, so Lori, do you feel your emotions were hurt today?
Yes.
Brian, do you feel you were heard?
Yeah, absolutely. Because she just doesn't understand sometimes.
Okay, well,
All right.
So-
Do you understand me?
time
I
to
understand
go
where
to
you're
a
coming
commercial
from.
break.
Okay.
So let's take a 30-second commercial break and we'll be right back.
all right.
All right. Seriously?
Oprah.
That was my show.
You know what? I tried.
You joined
You
the
started, and I gave you your time. I just
And
felt
then you
like.
put in Seriously.
Oprah, I just feel
May
like
12th?
I
That's in a
had
couple
some
weeks.
valuable information that
I
needed to be
noticed
shared.
My voice is not being opinionated.
I just really
Are you guys
think
okay
that,
over there?
Hey,
You guys
know,
okay?
Stephen,
Hey.
we're fine. We're just talking out a few things. But you know,
He's doing most of the talking, as you
Back
noticed.
on air.
Oprah, I,
Yeah, I think
All
well,
right. And
we're
we're
back.
back.
Yeah, guys, the show's live.
Okay, so yeah,
It
that.
sounds like you guys had a little difficulty at commercial break.
Well, Lori,
Haven't
sometimes.
you
Messages, I think, arguing over
studied the
stuff.
book at all? I mean, isn't there something in there? I think this might be a good time to, good opportunity to learn a new communication tool, like maybe assertive messages. Do you remember the assertive messages?
Yeah, the aggressive statements are my favorite.
And you guys
Assertive
know,
message.
there's definitely five
That's what I said.
five characteristics of assertive messages, and I'd be happy to share one of them with you.
Sure.
Okay.
So
Well-
you can do the behavioral description.
Why don't we,
Mr.
Oprah? Why don't you
They
write
should
these
know.
You
down?
know what? You need to stop talking
You guys are the
over
hosts. You should know
everybody
this stuff.
on the whole place.
Yes. I think I should do this because it's mostly my issue with Dr. Bill.
Okay.
Talking
So what
about.
was that, behavioral
So
description?
start off with the behavioral description, and you just describe how he's acting.
How he's acting.
Why you
Okay.
don't like it? Why don't you like what he's doing or?
And you follow that
Right,
up with
annoying.
the perception check.
All right, and I'm going to write all this down because it takes a
Perception
long
check
time
or
to do this.
interpretation of the other person's behavior, that's comes
Yeah, and-
afterwards. Can you rewrite it down and then you can say it all at once at the end?
All right.
You might want to tell them that you should.
That was in chapter 8 too, it's the book that you
Mhm. Yep,
show
I
the
remember.
audience.
Oh yeah, I
Do you?
remember. I read the chapter, Oprah.
Maybe.
I did.
Yeah. I think. Are you ready for this? Have you
All right.
wrote it down yet?
And number 3?
Okay, what was number 3?
You need to describe your feelings.
Oh, that's right. That's what you just told me about. The feeling statements, you know,
You should be pretty al-
three,
you should be
three
good with that.
emotions.
Like perception checking type thing.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
saying your emotions and then using your 3x5 card to
Mhm.
help the other person understand why you're feeling that.
Jump in here somehow.
And number 4?
Number 4, it says a description of the consequences, and this is just a statement that explains what happens as a result of the behavior you have described.
And then my personal favorite, step 5.
Hey, you gotta
Well-
stop talking over
I knew he was
everybody.
gonna
Well,
do this.
since
Step
he-
5 was,
since
what was it then, Doug?
He has so much to
Step
say.
5 is your intent, Oprah. What do you intend to do?
Oh, I intend to do something.
Okay.
Do you wanna
All
read
right.
it all together now?
I think I have it.
Okay.
Dr. Bill,
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that you will not shut your trap. He's been talking over me during the shows, especially during my parts. It's driving me nuts.
You go, girl.
I don't know if it's because you don't think I know what I'm talking about, or you think whatever you have to say is better. I feel disrespected, unimportant, and fed up with it.
Get it.
And in my reality, I think co-hosts should be 50-50.
Mhm.
I think that it's put a strain on our professional relationship and on our TV show. And I intend to, Dr. Bill, go our separate ways and split our shows.
Well, Oprah, I'll have to say that I feel
That
quite
is
similar.
quickly.
And
believe
you know, it's
that?
actually
Do you believe
we're actually out of time. So did you Oprah want to do the outro or?
I like Oprah
I mean, do
anyway.
we?
I think
that a-
since you have a lot to say,
All
You-
right,
you,
then I-
you know what, it's kind of odd that you brought 2 relationships together, but then now you're splitting.
Well, sometimes you know it's okay, and that's the thing with assertive messages is you get to say your piece, and the intention, the very end, is powerful. Okay. So, you know, today hopefully we all learned a little bit about communication and some of the effective tools taught in understanding human communication. The 3 tools we went over today were I statements, feeling statements, and assertive messages. So go out there, be educated communicators, make a change. Thank you.
Good job, by the way.
All right, you guys will be seeing me tomorrow for VEDA Day 26.